Who they got for their substitute mid laner, bring him on. But honestly, yeah, the first ban there, the Rumble, is something that so many teams ban against Huni, whether they're blue side or red side. It's just, he was one of the first ones to jump right back on to the Rumble pick, you know, with the Proto Belt, and plays it so aggressively. The other two, obviously, are the mid laners, and there's the Malzahar ban that we talked about as well for Phoenix1, so that's off the table. We shall see. Maybe they do go with that Cassiopeia. Definitely been a huge champion recently, pretty much across the world, actually, just because of the reliable backline damage and counter engage.
Yeah, but with Sivir open and so many other power picks, it seems like Phoenix1 decided to commit to Karma.
And Karma has been extremely big in North America. However, Sivir is just pretty much the queen of 80 carries right now, and it is fairly risky to give that over to Immortals. They have the option of first rounding it here. I don't see any reason not to go with it. It might be something like that plus the Rek'Sai, as all the junglers have been left up, and that's been Reignover's favorite. But Inori has definitely been willing to step outside of the normal jungle breakdown. But there you go. Those are the two obvious picks.
That's Sivir and Rek'Sai for Wild Turtle and Reignover. And of course, that Rek'Sai does rather well into Hecarim.
Little bit of twist in the flavor there. Inori did have that legendary game on Hecarim. Plus, he had multiple, you know, Baron steals, Elder Dragon steals. Pretty much a highlight reel on Hecarim. But I don't think that he'll be unhappy to play Rek'Sai. Any jungler right now. It's a very easy champion to pick up, a very easy champion to play, and also extremely powerful. So, see what they decide to go with, because I mean, both teams do have some a bit of extra speed for the team, and that is also going to, as everyone likes to point out, help out Hecarim because he converts speed into damage.
Yeah, the big thing that I like when looking at Phoenix1 right now is the fact that as we go down these player cams, everyone on the team is smiling. This is such a positive environment for these guys, and you can tell it's really having an amazing effect. They started 0-9.
See, it's the good. That's the good part about, you know, making a bunch of mistakes and losing a bunch of games early on. When you start winning, oh, you feel great because you feel like, oh wow, we don't really, we haven't won before, and we've been depressed for so long. Ah, this is great. Good thing happening. Oh! We can't gloss over this, though. Yeah, Kalista making a return as Mash decides to pick her up, possibly with the Trundle support, possibly Flex here. Karma very well could be moved down there as well, because Brandini's been the Trundle player for the team recently. For better or for worse, he's on that pick all day, every day.
Yeah, he had to play it against Seraph, I think, all 3 games yesterday, And by the end of game 3, he was actually showing, hey, I know how to play this matchup, and I can do rather well if I manage to get ahead. But pressure is on. We'll see if he can do it once again. Huni, very talented top laner. Sona, again, locked in for Adrian. She's been looking rather strong, but Phoenix looking for their final 2 picks. Yeah, and Lissandra as well making a resurgence. I'm very excited about this champion select, actually, because we get some new flavor, you know, some mix-up in the meta that we've been seeing teams fall into in the last couple of weeks in North America. You know, now there's extra hard engage. When you already see a Sivir Hecarim, you think, okay, this team's looking to dive. Maybe they'll have a dive buddy for Hecarim, Shen, or something like that. But Lissandra's going to get right in there. Hard to lock down. Oh, no.
Hey, we thought it was just the Kalista. Just getting started here. Mordekaiser.
Oh, my
Please tell me that was not a misclick. It looks like they're just going as planned.
They're holding on to it. The coach and ref aren't turning their heads or anything. Big
classic combo here. Mordekaiser with Tarek. Boop, boop. Get the stun.
Oh, my
The dragons as well. Honestly, though, let's take a look at this strategy that P1 are going for. Because at first we thought, okay, it's just an interesting wrinkle. Yeah, they want to play Kalista. But Kalista provides a lot of neutral objective control. Great at securing dragons and barons alike. Mordekaiser puts more benefit on getting dragons. And the bottom lane here, which is gonna be the Tarek and the Kalista, as you know, all the flex picks have been filtered out to top lane Trundle and mid Karma, is gonna provide a decent amount of control down there as well. Wait a second, never mind. Trundle might be jungle, Mordekaiser might be jungle.
That's a lot of
still
flex.
flexible. It's still flexible. I mean, they can still switch it around. I say that it's top lane Trundle and mid lane Karma, but it's still movable. And Nori, I have to say though, definitely my favorite player in the LCS right now. All LCS.
Breaking out the Rengar, breaking out the carry Hecarim, and now he's going to do it again with Mordekaiser. So this is the first Mordekaiser in the LCS this split.
It is. Interesting little fact right now, in Platinum and above, in the previous patch, Mordekaiser was the highest win rate jungler.
Yeah. In 614.
With a very, which is the patch that we're playing on in LCS, but with a very, very small play rate. So those types of numbers get kind of wonky when you have really small play rate champions like that because of the sample size. But if I do my research here really quick, the recommended build has been the Rylai's into the Zerat portal. So let's get ready to rumble.
Just get dragons in there. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. But we want to know what you think. Do you think Phoenix1 has it in them to take down Immortals? Let us know on Twitter. Post with hashtag P1win or hashtag IMTwin as we load onto the Rift. Can Inori do it again, or will Immortals shut him down? Oh my God, you gotta give a lot of credit to Phoenix1. This is awesome.
Yes, you definitely do. Credit for awesomeness so far in Champion Select due to Phoenix1. We'll see. Yeah, Runic Echoes into Lucidity Boots Rylai's woo have been the go-to. Let's see what he can get done with it.
This is so cool.
I mean,
I just want to watch what they do with this.
Yeah, it's not a surprising champion. I mean, it's surprising that he gets picked, but he doesn't pull off surprise plays in the game. So it should be fairly predictable as he just tries to grind out his jungle path. I mean, everybody always likes to play weird champions in, ranked play or solo queue or normal game. Whoa, they're actually going to go for a bush.
Adrian, no! Adrian, why? 1 bonk,
Derek,
2 bonk, 3 bonk, 4! First blood, Phoenix1.
Oh my God, they didn't give it to Mordekaiser, but still. Holy moly, he's off to the races already. Phoenix1 with the genius draft here to guarantee first blood, Dom.
All according to plan.
Yeah, they knew it. They're like, we'll pick Mordekaiser. Adrian will just face check our bush when we've got the Terra Callista ready. Perfect for chasing down anyone. And that is the way you want to start the game when you've got a jungle Mordekaiser on your team.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of ranked play, that's just one of the times where you're like, oh my God, my team is trolling. Everybody's picking these random champions, but you're like, whatever, I'm not dodging. We'll play it out anyway. And then things start to go your way. You're like, oh, sweet, we're winning. Nice.
This is the
we got first blood.
The one Mordekaiser one trick that you run into in ranked. Oh boy, this is stellar. I love what's going on here. Alrighty, so 500 gold advantage. Looks like we're not going to be seeing lane swaps as Mash and Gate start off with that Krug camp on the bottom, and Inori gets a bit of a leash here.
I love it. Since they don't really, they can't make it into playoffs and stuff. Might as well try something and get famous. He's the Mordekaiser jungler now.
I mean, they've definitely got some street cred.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking out the Rengar and the Mordekaiser. And this has to be at least 2 games in this set. The set is young. Mash is going really hard. That's a very early exhaust.
Yeah, they got first blood, so they had extra experience, even though the experience you get for early kills was greatly reduced. So it wasn't that big of a difference. Did get level 2 first, trying to push down here on them and keep control of the minion wave. That's so important when you're playing against Sivir. It's always about the control of the minion wave. The other thing is that Callista, when she was in the meta, was picked into Sivir very often because it's really hard to spell shield Callista damage, and Callista is such a good lane bully versus the Sivir. It's just that she's been out of the meta for so long, kind of fell out of your thought process, right, in Champion Select. But here we go. Mash is trying to make the old lane counter work out. Hard versus a Sona, though, in the current state, because there's a lot of healing. Here we go with some jungle action,
I don't think Inori saw him. Rainover getting a sneak gank on that bottom lane. That's 4 summoners. He ghosts. There goes Mash. He sees it now. Oh, he gets pulled back, holding onto the flash. There he goes. Gate in the back. Not actually burning it just yet. And Phoenix1 walk away.
Yeah, they did have to burn both summoners off the AD carry.
Yeah, he did heal.
And Mordekaiser might slip in here for some lane minions. Nope. The duo's going to stay, and Adrian got
flash! Not again! Oh, he's got the rend building up. That's one more bonk to heal. Throw, no!
The flash bonk from Minori.
It was only the 2 bonk, not the 3. Oh, boy.
It's a red buff on him. It's like, yeah, let's go.
And Adrian was like, I don't want any part of this.
If it was a jungler with any sort of CC, then yeah, they probably could have picked up that kill too. But Mordekaiser, you just wait till he gets level 6, though. You just wait until they get dragon control and you see the dragon ghost coming through.
As soon as he gets Rylai's, he'll have all the crowd control he needs.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're joking about this pick a lot, but there are actual strategies to talk about with Mordekaiser. Most of them do revolve around, you know, the dragon, but they're also a lot about, you know, mid-lane power or mid-game power spikes, which is where Kalista shines. You know, the 1 and 2 items for Kalista are huge. Karma as a mid laner also spikes very early, and Trundle can become viable super early on as well. Depends on what build the Trundle does want to go with. If Brandini wants to go split push again, or if he actually does want to, you know, try and team fight. I would suggest that he does go the split push to try and pull people away from the dragon so that the rest of P1 can take that dragon and really start to use the Mordekaiser snowball, get the ghost, and start knocking down turrets.
Yeah, and that is the Infernal Drake first, so very high priority for both of these teams to try to secure that early on. As it is, though, we're seeing the junglers just clear out, go for some of those early backs. Jungle Potion picked up now for Reignover. He's going to be healing up and sustaining as much as possible. Gate stops the recall. Unfortunately, that's not a projectile, so it goes through units.
That was a really good delay, though. I mean, every time you can delay a recall like that, if you have control of the minion wave as well, it actually makes them decide to stay in the lane, and the fearsome, flashless Mordekaiser gets another kill!
Oh my gosh! Inori gets one. Teleport. He's got the pillar, but no, it is going to be canceled. There's a ghost. They're turning it back around. Uh-oh, Victor trying to catch up. Snare. Uni actually completed his mash. Is caught out on the side by Pobelter. And there's Brandini now joining in. The Phoenix1 trying to turn it around. They get one. Reignover has got to run. He gets out of the pillar. And, the slow, but will escape with his life.
Oh, Period actually get us some alone time with Pobelter.
Oh my gosh, we flashed over. Period knows no limits.
Well, Reignover's gonna chase him off, and that might be the Drake we talked about.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
And Inori's level 6 now.
Prepare for the ghost. See what they can get with it, because you immediately want to try and get some turret gold once you get this ghost. The pushing power is insane. It just takes so long to kill the actual dragon because it has so much health that you can use it to tank the turret and damage it the whole time. Let's oh yeah, people are getting amped up, baby. We're seeing that. Look at this Mordekaiser gang. Oh, one auto. One auto. All right. And then finished it off there with the W.
There's the late teleport from Brandini. Seraph did teleport in from the bottom, which let Phoenix1 get split up. But the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I mean, this was the teleport from Brandini. Did get the bite on Mash before, or on Sivir before the flash went off, so that the attack will continue unless you flash into Fog of War. Any sort of those melee things will complete, even if the person flashes away.
So 7 minutes in, and Phoenix1 are leading over Immortals by about 1,200 gold. They've already secured the first Infernal Drake, and now they've swapped their duo to the top lane, and the crowd is with Phoenix1.
The Giant Killers, Phoenix1. I gotta say, I was pretty slow this morning. Took a long time to get up, trying to get ready. I thought it was gonna be a rough day, but I'm amped up now. This is exciting. Super fun game.
Yep.
We'll see what they can actually do, because I'm very disappointed in the dragon use. We were talking up the dragon use for Mordekaiser for so long.
Recalls, yeah.
He recalls and he does like 3 jungle camps with it.
That's okay. Dragon's coming up in another few minutes, so we'll see if he can take advantage of that. Phoenix1 now rotate towards the mid lane. They were spotted out by a ward, though. Yeah, D2 is way better than D1 anyway. We'll see what they can do with D2, because that's when Mash is going to start completing an item. You know, they'll have a little bit more pressure in all of their laning champions as well.
talked about the mid-game power spikes for this team. That's why they're really going to try and push it. They don't want to let the late-game Sivir come to fruition.
Oh,
here.
no.
They're trying to end it before that.
Timer is ticking for Phoenix1, but they've already got TSM in their trophy case. Can they add Immortals to it as well? They've definitely got the surprise factor in this game. But again, this is a best of 3. If they win this one, they'll still have to take another. And the pressure is on. However, for the time being, they are content to keep these lanes nice and safe, knowing that there's no Drake for a while with the duo top. Just gives them some pressure on the Rift Herald. Brandini is nice and safe down in that bottom tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to take a beating as Trundle in that matchup as far as CS goes. Plus, he did the teleport to leave, so Huni got some extra ones there. Now he's made it to that cowl, though. I mean, the cowl is so important versus any melee top laner. Or, I mean, any ranged AP top laner for the melee top laners, because you really need that extra health regen in the magic resist to try and just sustain in lane. Having swapped down there, Huni's going for roams as well on the Sandra. But man, Mash and Gate really retaining control of that lane versus the Sivir Sona.
Yeah, they've actually got a CS lead right now, and we'll see if Wild Turtle will be able to catch up as he clears it out. Only down about 5, so it's 1 minion wave.
Yeah.
Spell shield early. Oh,
that's the difficulties of the Sivir and Kalista matchup. You kind of have to predict when the Rend is coming out. All right, here's the difficulties of Mordekaiser jungle. You got to walk through wards. This means you won't get the kill, but you will get the objective.
Oh yeah, that top tier 1 turret is not long for this world. Pobelter's on his way up there. He's got Ghost, and there's no ward in that bush as they thought to try to rush through. Well, they will back away.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. They just cleared that out in the tri-bush. Pink ward down there, 4 Immortals now in the tri-bush. And Reignover and Pobelter will return to their previous duties, farming up, as Zenora was able to get a decent amount of damage on that turret with his little sojourn up to the top side.
So far, he's keeping pace with Reignover, only down about 8 to 10 jungle camps. But for the time being, Reignover is just relegated to running around, trying to keep pace of this Mordekaiser. Get to the lane before Mordekaiser does.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to farm up till that Trinity Force.
Oh, yeah.
When you really start to feel the power on Hecarim. Is over a ward, though, that Anora just dropped on his last little route through mid and finds it with his Raptor proc here.
Drake now going to spawn in the next minute and a half. You can see Anori is trying to cheat down to this side. Seraph just completed a recall. If he can... Oh, no, he's just going to try to shove the turret.
Yeah, I mean, I like Anora is playing this Mordekaiser. He just farms his whole jungle out and then goes to the lane for a little while to get a couple hits on the turret. While he has no camps to farm, and then, you know, rinse and repeat back to the other side, because the ganks, as we said, they're not all that spectacular as far as crowd control you can bring. You're just a melee, slow melee champion at that, walking up, unless the enemy team is forced to fight you with something like the Taric and Kalista lane, where there's a bunch of CC in the lane there for you, then he's just providing a little bit of extra DPS. Starting to farm up, though. We'll see that build come out. He got 2 of the last hits, so a decent amount of early gold. Another swap here from P1 as they move their duo down bottom, trying to keep Huni walking around and trading lanes versus Brandini. Also, P1, since their duo lane has control of the wave versus the Sivir and Sona, they've been pushing it up first, you know, try and gain a little bit of tempo each time they swap the lane. Whoever's answering always loses out on a little bit of time with those minions.
And Nori chasing Reignover back. You can see that Ocean Drake has spawned, and there are 4 members of Phoenix1 there. Brandini, as you said, with the tempo advantage, pressuring the turret. Teleport available for both.
The much anticipated release of D2 coming out. Who's gonna get the steal here? Oh, Reignover doesn't have smite. He can't steal it. No smite.
Yeah, meanwhile, that's the pull. Will he be able to get the stun follow-up? There's a huge crescendo. There's the Drake. Cosmic Radiance teleport is canceled, in fact. Brandini did join in that fight, so Seraph will try to answer back.
Yeah, I mean, Taric's... Whoa, they actually have Wild Turtle cut off here.
Ooh, that's not a good place for a Sivir to be. She flashes, still with her heal. The Drake is taking the turret, though. It's doing a lot of damage, and Wild Turtle goes down. Reignover in the back finds Period, but he also falls, and Phoenix1 take 2 kills.
And look at that dragon take the turret. That's what we're talking about. He can just stay there as long as he wants. They go behind. Huni with no teleport here. I think he just used it previously to get back to lane because he's left up there all by himself. Brandini was able to come down, cut off Wild Turtle, and secure that kill, as it was not just the dragon they were going to take, but turret trade after. They also were able to get 2 kills to their names, and Phoenix1 are actually controlling the early game versus Immortals.
Oh my goodness. If you could have hurt yourself in week 1, would you have believed?
No, of course not. I mean, maybe after the game where they were able to beat TSM and people are like, haha, okay, yeah, maybe they can take Immortals also. Yes, haha, they can.
Oh boy. All right, so Huni's able to trade back though, take that top tier 1. It's still 2-1 in favor of turrets, but here's that again.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to Wild Turtle during the Dragon because I was looking at P1 as they were moving up towards the blue buff, as you know, probably most other people were as well. And Immortals were disengaging there, rightfully so, because the Terracult came down, and there's no way that P1 can force that engage. But somehow Turtle wandered off down into the little corner there, and Brandini was able to make the cutoff. So,
you know, if I had to guess, I think he wanted to try to clear the minion wave so they couldn't collapse and take the turret. But Mordekaiser has a dragon.
I guess, yeah, and it, well. Bamboozled! Bamboozled here!
Absolutely flabbergasted by what's going on in this. 15 minutes in, and as you said, Phoenix1 are controlling the early game against Immortals. 3,000 gold, and trying to speed things up.
I love it. I mean, you got to shake things up and go with the unexpected versus these teams. That's what people always complain about. Whenever we have the interviews with people like Doublelift after they lose to one of the bottom teams, which happens very often for them, actually. There's always this surprise loss to one of the bottom teams. He's always like, oh my god, I never expect them to do that because it's so ridiculous, right? They're catching them off guard with so many different pieces here. Mash me with the Callista lane, the very old lane into Sivir working out, getting control with the duo, plus the now they're going to get dove, and Reignover is on the way. He ghosted, so he's going to continue with that, but Pobelter.
Yeah, they're trying to get onto Pobelter in the mid lane. Pyrion is locked down, and Inori can't get in. The Cosmic Radiance wears off. Stun is countered by stun, and Mash gets pulled to safety.
They escaped, but Pyrion went down in the mid lane, and they didn't finish off Pobelter. No, the damage over time's not that big. You haven't seen that in a while, have you? What does that little ghost thing do? Maybe it explodes at the end. No. The damage over time's not that big with it. And anyways, really what matters is the objectives afterwards. If we regain focus on this game. Immortals are trying to retake control. They focus on the bottom lane, go with the gank, even though it was unsuccessful, still get the turret down there and defended mid, plus got the counter kill on the P1 focus.
Oh man, the young Mordekaiser gank. Walk through the minions and head on out. Hashtag P1 win. 17 minutes in, and Phoenix1 are trying to control this game. Pressuring quite a bit.
That's definitely how you get fan support. Pick Mordekaiser, bring Callista back in there, take him into the jungle. I mean, he's going to be able to finish Rylai's, which I assume is going to be the next item. You know, you need some sort of crowd control to force these peons to fight you.
Stop running, let me kill you.
Best skin, by the way, the King Mordekaiser there. All right, let's see if Phoenix1 can actually close in and try and pressure mid, because they had 4 people around it. Here's what happened in the early stages, though, is the 2 solo laners, double AP there from Immortals, bursting them down. There's the bottom action that we saw as well, as they were able to escape.
Alrighty, so we're continuing to watch Phoenix1 pressure forward and try to invade those jungle camps. Inori is so close to finishing off that Rylai's. He's got all the core components, and he's still, even in CS, while being 2-0-4, he's been involved in all of his team's kills, and so has Gate.
I have to say, the first couple of Mordekaiser ganks were hilarious as well. Not really the enabler for those, but definitely a participant. Here we go, though. Fight over pink wards.
Inori's going in. Oh, man.
Inori's going out.
All right, that Ocean Drake is up in 30 seconds. That's why we see this skirmishing around the mid lane. The Mace of Spades. Inori doing what he can. Or no, that's clubs. I never understood why it wasn't the Mace of Spades.
I mean, that's what his Q is called. The Mace of Spades.
Oh, so we can't have a skin named after his ability, maybe?
That's too confusing, Dom.
Okay, Ocean Drake is up. And Immortals are there.
I don't know. D3 on release was pretty terrible.
All right, teleport from Huni. No answer yet from Brandini. They're already trying to burn it down. There goes some damage with the Chaos Storm. Seraph goes right onto Inori. He's locked down and separated from the team without Inori. That's the Drake secured. And Cosmic Radiance, no, doesn't proc in time. Immortals continue to chase.
Brandini is still coming? Oh, he is still coming.
He's trying to do some work, though. Gets the gravity field. Wild Turtle flashes away from Piri, and Brandini is not stopping. The split push Trundle.
Oh, he's
going
coming, right?
1v5. Gets a double kill. Period. Kites it back right over. Oh, survives.
So Brandini started his teleport, but half his team was dead by the time it finished. So a little bit late there for P1 as far as the coordination. And that is something that they have had trouble with before, you know, coordinating the teleports with the top laner, especially with the new longer channel. It's definitely something that is a reoccurring problem for them. They're going to want to clean this. But look at this. They're fighting. They're forcing this dragon. And now the teleport starts channeling. Inori is already dead before he even shows up down there. They're chasing down the rest of the team. The dragon's already dead. Gate's gonna get popped here really quick. And now he's trailing into the T-fight. I actually thought he was gonna pull off, but they salvaged a little bit of the situation as he goes for Adrian first. Turtle gets hit with the Q as well from Pyrian to add a little bit of damage, and Brandini's gonna finish him off. So they salvaged a couple of kills, but it could have gone quite a bit better for them, I believe.
Yeah. I think the most telling thing was watching Immortals move as a unit. Reignover, Huni, and Adrian all acted at the exact same time, splitting Phoenix1 up, where the surprise factor couldn't really take effect. Phoenix1 just didn't quite have the opportunity to respond, so Immortals still demonstrating they've got the patience, they've got the technical skill to be able to play this out, but with that first Drake for themselves, that's going to help out quite a bit. The next one will be Infernal, as the Rylai's has been finished now for Inori. Finally, he can chase some people down.
Yeah, he's got his Rylai's. Mash is about to complete Blade of the Ruin King, so he'll have that 2-item power spike for Kalista. And that would be where, you know, Phoenix1 have to make their move, because if they give Immortals much more time than that, it's gonna get worse and worse for them as it goes on. But, you know, what they want to do is be able to force the fight and then keep Immortals in the 5-on-5 with the Trundle Pillar spam, the Kalista Rens, and the Taric stuns. If they can keep them in the 5-on-5 when Taric ult does go off, then should be able to, you know, get that first kill, get the ghost, and start snowballing.
Yeah, Brandini split pushing on the far side. Again, trying to pull the attention of Immortals apart. You saw Reignover heading over before coming back to the mid lane. He's not going to fall for that just yet, so that means that Brandini can continue to shove. Still down about 30 CS, but he's 3-0-2. Definitely keeping pace.
Yeah, and he is going for the Ravenous split push build there. Early Spirit Visage is the way to go versus that double AP team. See if Phoenix1 can correct after that last little hiccup over Dragon number 3. Where they gave over the extra ocean. The extra ocean, not that big a deal, but they would love to be stacking these Drakes because having that extra pressure as you get towards the late game does help out a lot. Right now, a bunch of their vision has been transferred over to the Baron side of the map, though, as you can see all 4 of those pink wards. So they're going to try and set something up over there. Hope that Immortals will come and funnel into this P1 comp because they don't have a lot of utility, and if Turtle pops that Sivir ult, it's going to be pretty hard to lock down Immortals.
Ooh. And that's where you see how squishy that Mordekaiser is. Really need a team in front of him.
Yeah, it doesn't have any armor right now. You know, just the Merc Treads is only defensive and then a bit of health. So even though it's early for Wild Turtle and he's down on CS, Baron plus Boomerang still hurts.
Yeah. Now we can see Phoenix1 continuing to play around that side of the map. 2 minutes for that Drake, but Phoenix1 might get flanked here. Reignover over the wall, decides not to go in as he's spotted by a ward in that tri-bush. And there goes Inori. He's also going to be spotted out by a ward in the river. So Immortals know that this is happening.
See what they do. Everybody's
Rainover's baiting.
standoff.
They know they're in there. There goes the stun against Rainover. He gets a lot of damage. There's a huge crescendo. Rainover gets chased down and killed. And Brandini even teleports in as well. Wait, that's the jungler. And Huni actually follows up for flashing away.
Rainover took that bait, hook, line, and sinker. Surprise Bush with the Taric Mordekaiser, locks him down. Now they've got the Horse Ghost.
Oh my god.
Gonna try and take down this turret afterwards. Get him, Rainover!
Yeah, continues to
Team
chase
kill.
forward. It's 6 versus 4 right now as Phoenix1 are trying to break down this tier 2. And they will
fire
get it.
on.
Yeah. Clearing out the vision of Immortals now. Still 7 seconds before Rainover respawns as Phoenix1 set up the bait and Immortals take it.
It's exactly what we were talking about, though. That's how you have to set it up when you're with Mordekaiser. You kind of need Immortals to charge into you. Oh, Gate, actually, speaking of being in the wrong area.
It's a Chaos Storm. He actually flashes. Mash still has the ult. No, he doesn't actually. Pobelter locks it down.
Now that is the incorrect way to bait. Here we go, though. Convergence on mid lane, as P1 should be able to defend it.
Yeah,
And they do see Wild Turtle off on the side, but still pretty risky here.
yeah, that Infernal Drake is up in 12 seconds, but so too is Gate. He's going to have to haul all the way back. Pobelter eats some slows. Brandini, so fast. Can't quite catch up, though, as Immortals trying to fall back towards that river. They know that that's the objective, but Phoenix1 feign towards the Baron.
A lot of pings over towards that Baron, and Immortals kind of have to respect it because there's a pink ward on the actual Baron pit. Pink ward's leading up to it as well. Once again, P1 are trying that strategy where they force you to come into Mordekaiser. Oh, pings down on the Baron because Mash is on the Drake.
There's no vision for Phoenix1, however, so this is going to be taken. As the wave gets cleared out, Phoenix1 grouped as 5 in the mid lane. Infernal Drake picked up. Immortals bring it right back to even in those neutral objectives.
Farming up for later as well. Wild Turtle now on 2 items Sivir. Infinity Edge comes in, and that's when the teamfight of Immortals gets extremely scary.
This is starting to become a pretty big Immortals team, and now that they're no longer falling for these baits, it's becoming more and more difficult for Phoenix1 to take advantages. They're looking for wards around the map, looking to clear out the vision of Immortals, but the pressure is on. Brandini, no teleport for a little while, means he's going to be split pushing on the opposite side. Huni will have to catch him. As Phoenix1 try to keep clearing out this vision and defend their mid tier 1 turret.
Yeah, Brandini doesn't have teleport either, so this is he's gonna be over there split pushing by himself for a while as Phoenix1 are trying to split the map here. Thing is here for Immortals, Turtle can go clear waves so quickly. You can see he's shoving out topside just as fast right now with the Sivir, and that's gonna be a big wave on top for Immortals. So with Huni catching bottom, they might actually be the ones trying to keep Phoenix1 out in the open.
Pillar slow onto Huni, and a snare prevents Brandini from catching up. Ooh, gets a good jump, but he's taking a lot of damage here as Huni gets the better of this one. X-Tech Gunblade slows him down. Brandini slowly being whittled down.
Yeah, not a big deal though for Ravenous Trundle. That's the benefits of getting the early Spirit Visage plus Lifesteal, plus laying down the Frozen Domain. Heals right back up to full on a single minion wave.
Yeah, taking a look at the CS, though, as a result of this, it's actually even now in that top lane as that early game has reset. In the jungle, still dead even. Pobelter has an advantage over Pyrion, but Mash is opening up an advantage over Turtle, so it's still very close in this game despite the gold difference on top of the screen.
Power play for Phoenix1 on the top side of the map as well as they go down through the jungle here. Red side, they might be able to catch Adrian off guard.
Oh, Flash dodges the stun, but Inori chases the slow lands, but he doesn't quite have enough follow-up. Mash is on the wrong side of this.
Flash off of Sona is quite big, actually, though. Adrian, not only can he not reposition in the next team fight, but no exhaust and can't flash crescendo for Immortals. Pretty good flank right there as Inori and Gate took 2 separate angles with the Taric stun lining up, and Adrian had to push all the panic buttons to get out.
Immortals now trying to play defensive and not let themselves get picked off by that surprise. Wait, Mordekaiser?
Whoa.
That's
Well,
the sound I assume he makes.
Yeah, look at the vision control that Phoenix1 have. That's the most impressive part to me because Immortals, are teams that so rarely don't have map control, since they get these early leads so often and they start fighting over and over and over. They're actually in a rare position where they have to check this fog of war, and you can see trying to put the wards down here into Baron, but pink ward's still standing for Phoenix1. They almost immediately clear them all out.
Yeah, such a dangerous position for Immortals if they get picked off. Brandini now with his teleport. Huni also has his own. Continuing to remain occupied in that bottom lane, shoving the tier 2 over and over.
Yeah, and remember, this shove is all about setting up for the neutral objectives. We talked about it in Champion Select, where the Kalista plus Mordekaiser is so much about those neutral objective control and trying to retain this vision control so that the enemy team will walk into your Taric and into your consecutive slows of Mordekaiser and Trundle and Kalista as well. But there you go, Immortals, they make a pretty good incision right there into the vision.
Yeah.
The vision incision by Immortals right into the Baron.
Did you just make yourself laugh with that?
I'm having a weird day here, Dom.
This is not a dream. This Mordekaiser is actually happening. And Immortals are dealing with it rather well. I mean, despite the early advantage in control, they're able to retain vision. They're not face checking anymore unless they know that they can do it as a unit. And that slowed things down quite a bit for Phoenix1. Not too much action since blowing that Sona Splash, and it's already 2/3 of the way up.
Yeah, you talk about the lack of action here. I would really, I mean, even though it's difficult for P1 because, they don't really have the go button. It is all about how you control the vision around these objectives and how you get the side lanes to push up and try and force Immortals' hands. But I think we said, Turtle is getting closer and closer to that Infinity Edge for Sivir. And here we go. It's actually Immortals setting up.
There goes the Claw to try zoning away. Wild Turtle gets onto the turret, but the minion wave is cleared. It just takes a few hits.
Yeah, Nori actually got chunked out pretty heavily there as well. Luckily for them, though, Immortals pull back as both sideways are pushing in Phoenix1's favor. Oh, Brandini, 1 versus 2, go for the steal.
Oh, wow, that's going to be picked up by Pobelter, but Brandini has got to be careful. Huni clicks himself.
That was most definitely a misclick. Their models were right next to each other. He flashed right next to him. The flash self-ult, unlucky there for Huni.
Phoenix1 pressuring that mid-tier 1 turret, seeing the jungle of Pobelter and Huni. They get some great chip damage onto the mid-tier 1, but it's still up.
That's the nerve showing versus the giant killers Phoenix1. Gotta be scared, Don't want to fall to them as well.
Nope. 9 and 7, and Immortals are looking to not make the same mistakes as TSM. Try to lock this down, clearing out the vision, slowly getting the minions onto the turret, but they've got to be so careful.
Yeah, look at those beautiful crits coming through from the Sivir ricochets.
Yeah.
Phoenix1, though, they move from pink ward bush to pink ward bush, trying again to set up one of these counter initiation plays. Drake should go down pretty quickly.
That's 5 members of Phoenix1 in the pit. They secure it. There goes the Cosmic Radiance. It's about to land right in time. Pyrion's on this side, but that's so much invulnerability as Phoenix1 resets. Gate knocks out Huni. Brandini in the front, and Nori gets on to Rainover. He's going to try to kill him. He flashes, and that's the kill. Huni also falls, and Phoenix1 are chasing forward. There's a chilling smite. Wild Turtle has died, and Phoenix1 are doing it. They're winning the fight against Immortals.
Talked about it for so long. They got the neutral objective setup fight. They baited Immortals in. Immortals went in at the worst possible time, right after the Drake was taken. So Dragon Ghost was hitting them the whole time. Inori then was able to ult Wild Turtle. He turned it into the Sivir Ghost, which is the most powerful of the ghosts.
Oh my God.
And now Turtle's zoning him off the Baron. That should be Baron as well.
Oh, wow. Lots of damage. That's Wild Turtle going low.
Or should it?
Inori has no smite.
Pobelter could get the magical steal here with Victor if he can get a combo.
They're trying to stall it out. Brandini zoning on the side. Drops his Subjugate to scare Pobelter back, but the Baron is being cleaned up by Gate and Inori.
Great zoning right there. That is the biggest problem that we see from teams as you get to this stage, is they won't send people to go zone. Even if there's only a couple people on the enemy team, the possibility of stealing is very low. You gotta have people, go interfere, because that is a heartbreaker if it gets stolen. Anyways, there it is. Rainover got in just after the Drake was killed, so the Dragon Ghost is up. Even though it gets killed pretty quickly here, Inori is going to get his ult on Wild Turtle right after this. There it is on Turtle, and he's right next to him, next to the pillar. slows him down with the smite. Boop, there we go.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the Ghost actually didn't do a whole lot in the fight, but was able to throw him off the Baron for a little bit here. I have to say,
yeah.
Phoenix1 coming out of the gate swinging, and nobody knows what's going on. They're like, all right, let's refocus here. We'll get an update on what the problem is. But man, what a way to end the day here.
Yeah.
On Saturday night.
To start this series, Phoenix1, this is their last set in the summer split. And because they are locked into that promotion tournament, what better way than to go out with, I don't want to say a bang. This is like an explosion.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the most exciting team right now. Everybody loves underdog stories, right?
Yeah.
So they lost the first, 9 series.
Yeah.
They are the underdogs of the North American LCS here, and such a strong resurgence in the second half of the split is just always fun. Everybody loves to get behind, bad news bears stories like that. And they're doing it in such a fashionable way with the Rengar picks, the legendary 13-0 Hecarim games, and the Mordekaiser jungle as well. It's just,
It is fantastic.
Great stuff from
so,
these guys mixing it up.
Quick update on the pause. Immortals are having some frame rate issues, so we're taking a look at that to see if we can get it fixed as quickly as possible.
The classic.
Yeah.
We're losing to Mordekaiser jungle. Lag.
Slash remake is only for the first 3 minutes, guys. But, we'll see if we can get this resolved as quickly as possible. Maybe it was like, the Sivir shouldn't be attacking me. That's not normal. I didn't know Friendly Fire was in League.
Yeah, we need to take a look at this game, though, because it's actually going according to plan here for Phoenix1. Even though they had a bumpy, around the 20-minute mark, they started to lose a bit of control back to Immortals as Immortals were making some power plays. They've retaken control in a very big way here with this last bait around Dragon, where they got the Drake. They also got the team fight afterwards. And then we're able to get the Baron. That's a feels good, man. My face win. First person to pick Kalista in a long time. Plus, we're winning in Mordekaiser jungle.
Yeah, this is the second Kalista in the NALCS this split.
Yeah. Remember though, because Immortals are running a team, they have Victor and Sivir. So much wave cleared. On top of that, they also have Lissandra, who doesn't have terrible wave cleared on the side lane either. So there are a lot of options for stalling for Immortals here. While everyone's getting hyped up, this underdog story, Phoenix1, you want to see them also beat the other top team in North America. Immortals very much still in this game, and they can try and huddle down at their turrets and try and wave clear. The breaker is going to come from those Drake ghosts, right? The Mordekaiser ghosts. You can't wave clear that thing. It's got like 3,000, 2,000, 3,000 health at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
And that can be what they try to, continue the siege with. Right now they can rely on the Baron buff, but they do have other options to try and push in.
Controlling those neutral objectives has been how Phoenix1 have really sort of shown that growth as a team over the course of this split. And now they've got that Baron buff. Next Drake will be an Elder Dragon. Have you ever seen an Elder Dragon siege a turret?
I have not. I'm not sure if the ghost for the Elder Dragon is actually different because I haven't seen anyone play Mordekaiser since the Drake reworks. But I'm very curious. I'm excited. I hope we get to find an answer to that question today.
Hopefully we'll find out. But as we can see, Immortal still trying to fix out this problem. And Phoenix1 taking a nice deep breath. And we've got to respect sort of the tactical worth of a pause like this. Being able to slow the roll, like, okay, hold on. You've got the Mordekaiser. You've got the Baron right now.
I mean,
of course, this is not a tactical pause. This is a technical pause. But you've got to take a look at the mindset when something like this thans.
Yeah, I mean, they're not allowed to talk or anything, so it's not really much is changing here. Maybe your heart rate slows back down, or I guess you get less caught up in the action, try and think through your own plans. But
the adrenaline burns off.
Yeah, I think the plan here for Immortals is pretty clear, as they're going to try and stabilize right now. Their outer turret that's still staying in mid lane is definitely going to be forfeit. That thing has only got like 50 HP, so they just have to play a little safe, try and stall it out for a while, wait out that Baron buff, and see if they can hold on till that late game, because they do have a lot of late game power in a team fight if they are able to hold on for
as long as they avoid the big bop. then they'll be fine. And with a lot of crowd control from that Victor, CC from Lissandra, even a Crescendo to slow people down, might be a way to kill Inori before he can get to that back line. But Brandini has also been stepping up quite a bit. He really suffered during the laning phase, and in Game 1 and Game 2, it was the exact same thing yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's so rough, right? The range melee matchup like that, especially when it is a control mage who's going to try and punish you on the side. But yeah, as we said, once you get the cowl and then you build into your spirit vision, so much sustain on the Trundle, and he has done a good job coming back in that split push.
Okay,
so there's no talking, but there is Rochambeau allowed. Who will be the champion?
And Brandini's up.
Were you keeping track? I forgot. I didn't see the first one.
No, there we go.
I think Inori won the first one.
Zig comes it back. There it is.
It's best of 5, I assume. I guess that's 2 for. Oh yeah, things get spicy. You guys waiting for the turn
There he goes again.
That's it. You end on a stalemate, 2 rock?
Well.
Come on.
Bit of friendly rivalry. Nothing better to...
Right? It's the personality of this team as well. It's not just the flavor of the picks in-game. Like, Gate has been on this team from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And every time we interview him, he's just this big, bubbly, smiley guy who's always like, yeah, man, we're 0-8. It's no problem, though. Everybody's underestimating us. It'll be all good. We're great. We're going to come back into this. And look at that. He always has, faith. He's such an optimistic guy. There's so many, strong personalities on this team. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of uplifting to see them take games off of TSM and possibly Immortals here.
Well, we've got a few more minutes of pause coming up, so we're going to go ahead and toss over for some bonus coverage of Cloud9 versus Echo.
And at this point, standing way too close to things, they just can completely take him down.
AFO's so squishy, and it's this Gangplank just being so far behind. I mean, he would have been like maybe 1 more level, but it's still being blown up. Squishy build. Not able to actually put pressure on this Ezreal from Sneaky that's 3 levels up himself and has been getting a lot of that sidewave farm. Talking about they put him in a side wave every time.
Always. There were pings on the side wave when they were actually taking that top inhibitor. It was crazy. Cloud9 knows what they need to do next. The curtain call comes down. Keith trying to stand his ground in the backside and the inhibitor turret onto Impact. The best person here for Cloud9. Everybody's taking the journey and the tether doesn't even lock. Meteo's down. Could Smoothie be the first to fall? They still make it out alive, and Hard is gonna go just that for Jensen. He gets on, Jensen throws down the Miasma Slow, and nobody can get to him. They turn around to try and fight this as Meteos goes back in as well. And they can't decide if they want to stop the fight or not, and Fox is in the same position.
Froggen really bold right now. Impact still doesn't take too much damage from him, but he'll get enough rotations off with the Rylai's. Gets him over the wall with the Shatter Dash.
Ridiculous. If it would have been him for the first guy to go down, that would have been even crazier. But here's this already. Cutlass at the end as well.
Of course, we just saw Cloud9 looking very good.
Yeah, I was just checking in. I'm pretty sure they've got everything cleaned up here. Just getting our last ready checks for this game, and we can jump back in.
And again, to restate this, Phoenix1 just took the Baron against Immortals in game number 1 with that jungle Mordekaiser, AD carry Kalista, and we've gotten back in.
Right. What led up to this Baron, by the way, so P1, they had been trying to control both neutral objectives, the Baron and the Drake, pretty much the entire river, for the majority of the mid game, trying to bait over and over Immortals into a fight there where they were able to use the counter initiation. They finally got it at the Drake, the last Ocean Drake that we saw down there, and Phoenix1, having cleaned up that team fight afterwards, then transition into this Baron, are now trying to siege and convert it into gold.
Despite there being barely 200 health on that turret, 5 members of Immortals are grouped up to defend it, 252. But Brandini is split pushing in another lane, and with teleport, Immortals have to give it up, as you said. Meanwhile, though, they continue to pressure forward with another minion wave. Brandini is going to get another tier 2 before Huni can respond. That's 2 turrets with that Baron, and it's still got about 3 minutes left.
Baron buff should be able to help them crack through here. Immortals, as we said, though, they have so much wave clear.
Oh, wow, Brandini. really starting to put some harass onto Huni right now.
Yeah, what he should do is clear that wave, then move over and just throw a pillar here to zone Immortals off. Guess the pillar is not even necessary, as they are able to take out the last.
Oh boy.
You're gonna shave off that newest millimeter of hair that just grew in the last week.
It's only been a week, man. How many haircuts can you take?
Also, don't be fooled. If you walk up to Dyrus and try and shave his head as some random person, Dyrus, while he's a very calm person and he looks a little sleepy,
he's a big dude.
Don't mess with Dyrus.
Alrighty, now Phoenix1 setting up the siege, 4-1 split. That's Huni with the rest of his team. 5 members of Immortals there, and Phoenix1 trying to play it back, not to let themselves get caught. Brandini's working on the bottom inhibitor turret. Brings it down to half. Continuing to clear out this vision. Phoenix1 still with the Baron buff, bringing those minions back in again. There's a good spell shield from Wild Turtle, but that turret is already chunked down to half, down to a quarter. Phoenix1, they've still got so much time. They are using this Baron buff so effectively.
Yeah, and they're making very quick work of actually both side lane turrets. Brandini still keeping up the pressure down there. Huni's actually rotated over. Maybe Immortals are going to pull the trigger here. Let's see, they have everything ready. Adrian's got the flash ready for Crescendo, and Huni has flash as well with Lissandra.
Oh, they've got Nori on the side, Cosmic Radiance, but he's Anya's to stall it out. There's the Cosmic Radiance afterwards. He's got Invuln and will stall it out despite the stun. There's the Chaos Storm. They're doing everything they can to kill Nori.
They're trying to buy time here. Phoenix1 are just trying to survive in the 4 vs 5. Brandini's got the turret. He's getting the inhibitor. Now they go for the re-engage on the... This is going to be 2 inhibitors for Phoenix1.
What? One inhibitor's gone down. The second one will fall. And Immortals are falling further and further behind. It's 11,000 gold for Phoenix1.
And the whole map is Phoenix1 territory right now. All of the wards are timing out as we speak for Immortals. They have 2 inhibitors down on the side lanes. The time is running out for them. They have to make one of those hero stands inside their own base to survive this game.
Oh man, the fan count is shifting. 75% of folks now think that Phoenix1 will be victorious here.
Elder Dragon goes to end it, please. 50 seconds left on that thing, and we will see Phoenix1 head over to it. All they have to do is set up, again, those pink wards. They've got 2 extra in inventory. One's already down there by the Dragon. If they set up the other 2, then it's going to be a very risky maneuver from Immortals if they want to come contested. The side lanes will be pushing in. There's not a lot of time for Immortals, so they have to make a very quick decision and try to force something into this counter initiation built team from Phoenix1 that have the Taric ultimate to stall out. There's so many invulnerabilities here on Phoenix1, and it's going to take so long to kill them that if you stay outside your base for that long, the minions will do the work for Phoenix1.
6 seconds left on that Elder Drake. Phoenix1, after having themselves a brief dance in the mid lane, rush down, trying to catch someone. Ori looks for Adrian. There's a flash Crescendo. A huge bonk. Cosmic Radiance. Will he survive? He will. And they continue to chase forward. They don't even need the Dragon. 3 members of Immortals are dead.
What do we say about that style here for Phoenix1? It's definitely here in spades, and they're going to head into the base to end it here. 3 members down for Immortals. This would be a miracle stand if Pobelter could get back. Holy moly. Game number 1 here for Phoenix1.
They are rushing forward. Huni gets into the back line and destroyed by Mash. 16-8. Gate will stall out Pobelter with a stun on top of it. The Nexus falls, and Phoenix1, the Giant Killers, take game 1. Huge smiles from Phoenix1 after that match. Oh, wow. Very well-deserved victory. And a very stoic face on Reignover.
Like, this is some fairy tale stuff, Dom. Nori... Huni will look to try and take advantage. Phoenix1, though, because they're on red side, they get to choose which of their lanes gets the counter pick by revealing it last.
Alrighty, Immortals now looking for their first pick. Looks like they're going to take a page out of Phoenix1's book and take that Karma. Now, Sivir's still open, and Rek'Sai and Sivir... Wait, are they just going to swap teams? No, the Mordekai's just banned. They can't do that.
Yeah, this time around, though, Nori will grab up that Rek'Sai. for the squads. Go from Mordekaiser to the #1 super standard jungler right now in North America. And that will push Rainover over to the Gragas. A lot of playmaking ability here from Immortals in the second round pick with Gragas and Ashe. And Wild Turtle will have the burden of being the main initiation once again with his arrows. See if he can get those snipes down.
Now it's time for Phoenix1 to react. The solo lanes are still open. Pobelter and Huni still have got those 2 picks. You can see the coach Bonquish communicating now with Phoenix1 for what they're going to be taking. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. They're working it down. We'll see if they've got something new. Of course, they've got to have high spirits after game #1, so maybe going with something a little bit more standard might just revitalize them even more.
Something new, something old here. I like the Taric. It was so well used. Now it's going to be more difficult for him, though, because he doesn't have the Callista to add that extra angle that he can come from, you know, some extra utility there. But the front line right now from Phoenix1 is setting up to be very strong and give a lot of room to this Sivir. So that team fight later into the game, and once Sivir does start getting those crit multipliers coming through, is going to be very scary. I really like pairing Taric with something that can ensure that you get the team fight afterwards. Yes, they don't have the Callista, but Sivir's speed boost is going to be great because Maokai route, point and click. You're getting somebody to stick around. And if the Taric ult is coming down, that's all you want. You want to lock people in place. They've got the speed. They have the lockdown to do it now.
Ooh.
Someone who can save whoever gets Twisted Advance upon with the Tom Kench here. So it will be over to Adrian, I believe. I mean, technically, we can go through all the different iterations of swaps that these guys can do, but I would assume this is the support Tom Kench for Adrian into the Taric.
Meanwhile, that puts Alawi top for Huni. And now Phoenix1, they've got counterpick in the mid lane. A lot of utility and safety on that Karma, but Purian, he will get his pick of the litter to try dealing with that. So far, there's a lot of damage on that Sivir, but he'll have to make up with some magic damage.
Yeah, and it is going to have to be about the team fight here for Phoenix1 because Alawi absolutely demolishes tanks. Someone like Maokai, who has no burst damage and only can set up ganks for other people with damage to come kill Alawi, is not going to have a good time in that lane. The tentacles comes flapping through. There it is. That's a good little angle there from Phoenix1. They answer the pick with the Twisted Fate. That's someone who can come for those surprise ganks and try and punish someone like Alawi who does not have an escape but likes to play aggressively, likes to push the lane and get that extra harass on you while you are under your turret.
And that's such great synergy. Maokai with a point-and-click snare. Taric, if he can land a stun to combo it up, or even following the gold card. Phoenix1 rounding out their composition. And now Immortals breaking out the Alawi and Tom Kench to try to break this apart.
Yeah, the one thing that they do lack a little bit with that last pick, Twisted Fate, as you mentioned, you are looking for a bigger damage source as far as magic damage is concerned. Twisted Fate is not exactly the highest DPS mage from the mid lane. It's much more about creating those early plays with the ultimate to try and enable other people to get extra gold. And it is going to be a lot on Mash's shoulders to put out the DPS for that team if they want to take this 2-0 and add Immortals to the list of top teams that they've taken down.
The trophy case, will it grow larger or stay the same size? Again, this is the last match that Phoenix1 are playing before that promotion tournament, so it's time to bring the heat. A lot of fans converted over the course of that last game. Will we get some more as we load onto the Rift? Immortals looking to bring us to game #3, and Phoenix1 trying to close out a 2-0 and say, you know what, remember that time we 2-1 to TSM? Well, we can 2-0 Immortals.
Always got to raise the bar. Every time you achieve your goal, got to set a new one and aim high.
Yeah, and we have got a quick pause loading into the Rift. We're going to get that figured out right quick, but let's talk a little bit more about these compositions. The big surprise for me watching Phoenix1 is not only has they been getting better as a team, but their team comps have been evolving. Not only do they have these wacky picks, but they're also resorting to a little bit more standard picks as well.
I mean, that's been sort of the case with them. As Inori said in the interview after last time when he picked Rengar, he was like, oh, they banned Rengar third game? I wasn't even planning on playing him again.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the surprise picks and the surprise strategies. You use them for one quick win and then go back to something standard, something that's so much more reliable. Now they have the game advantage in this series. and they, they have that extra leg up to try and go with the super standard Rek'Sai and try and play it normal this way. Now they have a couple globals to work with. They have the Sivir Speed as well. And, they kind of rely on also their opponents being thrown off guard, carrying over into the next game after facing something like that in the first game, the opening match of the series.
Well, with this best-of-3 format, Phoenix1, since coming together with their main 5, has really started thriving and showing that exceptional growth that we continue to talk about. But as you can see, loading onto the Rift, everyone racing out. Defensive line so far from Phoenix1. I'm a bit concerned for Adrian if he's going to try to face check it once again. There's no threat, but it's just a little... Yeah, he's staying back as well. Okay.
It's a good sign. He's learned.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, trying to dodge around that vision. We'll see if he actually uses a trinket down there as well, as Gate has already bailed. Yeah, uses that trinket ward in that bush to keep an eye on it. And nice and slow. No early kills this time. We might have a standard match.
Well, they did see the wards placed, so it's now the guessing game of, are they sticking around? Are they swapping up to the top side? And it looks like we will have semi-standard lanes where they swap both duos up to the top side, calling the lane swap here. And that would mean that we would get to see that Alawi versus Maokai, which should be in Huni's favor and might draw, in response, some lane swaps from Phoenix1 later down the line. We've seen that they're not afraid to do, later on in the game lane swaps, try and shove up the lane, kill a minion wave, and then start heading over first to get that couple seconds advantage in transition, and try and keep their opponents, changing and off balance.
Both of the duo lanes now starting off with a camp on that top side of the map. Leash being given over to Rainover, but no leash for Inori, as Mash will start off with that first one, and, Mash. Wild Turtle will also get his 2. So Nori clearing that out.
Fighting over the first minion wave here. Need to get control for the level 2.
Stun catches Turtle. He's got some damage. Spell Shield used very early along with the exhaust. Slows now onto Gate. Adrian's looking for that tasty Sivir, but
they're deep in the minion wave, though. Turtle was tanking the entire minion wave, melee and ranged minions there. So even though Phoenix1 weren't getting much return auto attacks, they got a lot of return damage there onto the AD carry, which is the one with less sustain and the one that you want that extra harass on. Got to be very careful and respect early minion damage. When the fight is between minions and level 1 champions, the minion actually demands respect.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Huni gets a good dunk onto Brandini.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when Alawi has a lane that can't go toe-to-toe and just gets to constantly push, heal up with the tentacle smashes here. Also able to land that Test of Spirit. That's huge. You clear out the minion wave first so that you can try and get that Test of Spirit through. And then once you get on them, extra harass for free under the turret here. Makes it annoying to CS, gets extra damage, makes them miss their CS.
Rainover has found Inori. He doesn't have a smite, but Flash engages. Smite onto the red buff to heal, and Inori escapes.
Yep, that heal actually does save him too. It is going to mean that he should forfeit this red buff though, and Rainover objective complete here as he does steal it. Didn't get the first blood, but did chase him off.
Quick advantage for Rainover, getting that 3-buff start. Mash and Gate trying to keep themselves safe under the pressure of this Ashe and Tahm Kench in the top lane. Especially knowing that Rek'Sai is back, they've got to play it a little bit more defensive right now.
Great tracking there from Rainover as well. Some educated guesses to go for that. And good timing. Finds the Rek'Sai. Small advantage though, just one camp, and Inori will be right back out on the field farming. So not a tremendous lead, but one camp and no red buff for Inori. See if they can actually get vision around mid lane here, because the pings are coming down and Pobelta's going aggressive.
Yeah, snare onto Pyrian, but Inori going for the Scuttle Crab will not be able to follow up. Teleport being used by Brandini to get back into that lane, as he is taking a lot of harass from Huni.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about from the beginning, he gets eaten up and he's out!
Does. There goes a stun. Wild Turtle dodges. There's Mash trying to answer back. Gate is low. Oh, that was close.
Oh, baby. This is a fun lane up here on the top side. Get some melee supports in NA for once here. I don't know what he's scared of. I guess they got to respect that Reignover might be coming to try and kill him. But Reignover's not in the area, so Mash might actually stick around, try and get that cannon minion under turrets. Oh, he doesn't get the cannon minion. So even though Adrian, doesn't get a whole lot done over there as far as, harassment or going for any turret dives, by just standing there, Adrian denied the cannon minion from Mash.
Very important to take as many advantages as possible, especially against someone like Mash, who's so fond of farming and getting those huge CS numbers. And speaking of CS, we now see that it has caught up between Brandini and Huni, who does not use his teleport to get back into lane. So this might be a little bit tough for Phoenix1 in this early game.
Yeah, Huni hasn't used it yet. Maybe that means there's going to be a topside play. Reignover's deep in the enemy jungle. Reignover, he just used his trinket ward, so there's a possible teleport on that trinket ward that Reignover just placed.
Uh-oh, and Ori's actually completing the recall. Adrian in the front immediately flashes. Teleport now being used by Huni. This is 3 versus 4, and Ori's exhausted. The body slam misses Gate. And there's Pobelter teleporting as well. That's 5 people heading towards that lane. Gate falls. First blood through Immortals.
Teleport number 2 for Immortals comes through. And Huni does have to use it on the top side. That means Brandini does get to catch up on CS in the bottom. But Maokai's not going to get much headway on this turret. Very slow turret taker. And just going to mean some extra CS caught up for him.
Yeah, now you can see Wild Turtle heading down towards that bottom lane. Looks to catch it, but here's the replay of that fight again.
And let's look at, the big difference here as well in the mid lane. He had just forced Pyrian back to base, so Twisted Fate was pretty far. And while Twisted Fate does not have teleport, the ultimate from Twisted Fate only goes a quarter of the way. So Pyrian wasn't really able to answer that. And Pobelter teleports in to cut off the retreat, even though Reignover missed the body slam on Gate, and they do secure first blood. Immortals out to that early lead that you would expect from them versus Phoenix1.
Very confident play from Immortals. Huni's actually down in this bottom lane as well, without a teleport. Wild Turtle and Adrian are there. Might look to shove this wave and start trying to focus on that dragon. That is an Ocean Drake. Generation so very helpful.
Yep, go for the turret trade, then peel back down into it. Now, you still do have to respect the Twisted Fate ultimate. That will also reveal and alert Phoenix1. If they really wanted to contest it, actually, the pings are going on secondary turrets, so it looks like they might even trade multiple turrets here. As Immortals are going to make quick work of the turret. Ever so slightly ahead in that race. And remember, this is Phoenix1 with the mid lane mobility advantage now. Pobelter used his teleport, so he would have to walk the whole way over, whereas Twisted Fate does have ultimate ready.
However, that Drake is traded over. It's a turret swap, but Immortals get the better of it by collapsing onto that Ocean Drake. No recalls yet from anyone on Immortals. His blue buff is stolen and given over to Huni.
Yeah, the blue buffs are traded right now because the tower pushing for Phoenix1 continues. They push all the way up into the secondary turret. So what happened there is basically 2 minion waves are traded for this Drake. Because Phoenix1 sent Brandini down to catch the minion wave as it hit their secondary turrets, and they just kept their top side pushing. That top side pushed into the turret, all the minions died, and Huni and Immortals instead got to get the early Ocean Drake, which is a very good early Drake, where you get a lot of mileage out of the regeneration in the early stages by backing off out of combat. Your jungler gets to use it for a really long time. And we'll see if that trade was worth it.
And once again, Phoenix1 with the later swaps in their duo bottom and Brandini to the top lane. Might look for yet another tier 1 turret trade as they shove this wave out very quickly. And Huni will be allowed to complete his recall as well, so seems like we're falling back to a little bit more standard early action between the two teams. Pobelter. Oh, he actually lands the tether, and that was a blue card.
Pyrian, up until this point has been having a really good couple of sets for Phoenix1, but he's getting pushed around a lot in this specific game by Pobelter, and it is costing Phoenix1 a decent amount of pressure. Hasn't died yet, but here comes Huni to lend a hand.
pressure in that mid and top side of the map. And Nori actually shows himself as well, as it looks like Immortals are trying to trade that top tier 1. They take it. And just a little bit slower from Phoenix1 once again, but with Rainover in that side of the jungle and Huni in the mid lane, Phoenix1 have got to play defensive as the turrets are traded back. It's still only 500 gold between the two. They might like to break down this top tier 2, though.
You need the Twisted Advance to dodge the ultimate here, I think. Twisted Advance does make you go untargetable.
Oh, gold card onto Huni. He actually doesn't quite yet take turret.
Pyrian.
Pyrian goes low. He's got to dodge the tentacle, but a cast from Rainover gets a kill. There goes a flash stun onto Huni, but he's taken away by Adrian. Late teleport from Brandini gets him into the fight. Wild Turtle will die, and Phoenix1 might try to chase here. Managed to land as slow, but 4 members of Immortals dissuade it.
Yeah, quite a lot of mistakes actually from both sides in that little bit of turret dive there, but less from Immortals. And Pyrian actually just dying right before the entire thing even really started, not respecting the Alawi tentacles at all. Good collapse there from Immortals to get the extra kill.
Yeah, looks like Huni with that Phage and the hammer doing quite a bit.
Yeah, let's take a look here because Pyrian, yeah, Test of Spirit lands and he doesn't care at all. Then the tentacle hits not only the Spirit, but also Pyrian. And the collapse from Immortals just finish it off. Here's where the problem happens though. Turtle gets the turret on him, and the rest of Phoenix1 are funneling in behind him. So a little bit deep there between 2 turrets at 10 minutes into the game or so from Immortals.
Now Wild Turtle getting collapsed on. He has flash, but makes it to Adrian's belly and safety. Teleport is also canceled from Huni.
Pretty good there from Phoenix1 to get that teleport down, because if it wasn't for that play, Immortals would have double teleport advantage and a Tahm Kench on their team. I mean, we always talk about the Twisted Fate ganks. Tahm Kench, especially with the new buffs.
Uh-oh. There's a...
Don't overchase, I think, if you're P1. That's pretty risky. You don't have a lot of wards that you've spent time putting down. You don't have a lot of offensive control over that red quadrant, so good job by them backing off after that. You know, Hawkshot did scout them out. Yes, sometimes that's frustrating to say, we spent all this time with our pink ward and setting up, but you gotta know when to cut your losses.
Mash just spell shielded the point and click tether of Pobelter as he's catching this wave in the mid lane. Very talented play, but for the time being, Immortals are in the lead in this game, not only in kills, but also in gold. Next Drake spawning in 2 minutes, and Immortals are slowly pushing their pressure forward onto the map.
Black Cleaver completed for Huni as well, so he can start to shred people if they do get to team fights, and the tentacles start whacking all around. Brandini gonna have to do some dodging under there as Immortals close in on mid lane once again, trying to zone off this turret.
There goes the wave clear, but the turret's taking quite a bit of damage. The last minion dies, stun, misses as it's dodged back. Wild Turtle's taking a few hits, but the turret is secured. Immediate arrow onto Pyrian. Cosmic Radiance is not dropped fast enough.
Great initiation there from Immortals as Phoenix1 are sticking around trying to defend the last 10 HP of a turret with the wave clear here, attempted wave clear, and Immortals are not slowing down this game.
Yeah, looking now for that tier 2. Pyrian's up in 10 seconds though. Doesn't have his Destiny or Gate, but Phoenix1 cannot find a way in. There's the test. As the stun gets dodged, that turret's taking a lot of damage though. And Huni's in the front. He's actually going to get reset. Dodges the aggro. Bandini forced to flash at Immortals, win the fight, and take the turret.
Yeah, Huni got eaten by Tahm Kench pretty quickly there.
Yeah.
Thought he almost instantly went down, but Adrian with the quick fingers saves his life. And man, they are not messing around this game.
Oh no.
Lost a lot of ground in game number 1, but Immortals don't want to let Phoenix1 capitalize. Let's see here, there's the combo. Ash Arrow into a great Rainover ultimate. Instant kill here on Pyrian before the invulnerability does drop. Maokai still not tanky yet.
Still very early in the game, only about 14 minutes, but Immortals, in typical Immortals fashion, are accelerating the pace of this game so quickly, taking those 4 turrets to the 2 of Phoenix1. Now that Ocean Drake has spawned, and Immortals, already well aware, have got Wild Turtle on that bottom side of the map and are starting to send a few folks over.
Yeah, whenever you have your AD carry pushing up like that, you need to have Tahm Kench around to save him from the pick, and here's what it is. The ultimate comes down. A little bit of a bait. Oh, that was kind of short. That's okay, though.
Yeah, and Nori will escape with his life by flashing. But that is the ultimate from Reignover and the flash gone from a Nori, so that's going to make stealing a potential Drake so much more difficult.
Definitely worth it play right there. Get the flash. Twisted Fate ultimate was also used. And just trailing your split pushing AD carry. Split pushing ass is just so juicy when Twisted Fate on the opponent's team. So you know you got to stick around in the fog war behind him. There we go. Turtle goes aggressive.
Whoa!
Agent says, calm down, Turtle. No more turret shots for you.
Yeah, like a good support. Got to pull him back.
Literally can leash him with his tongue here. Pull him back when he gets a little aggro. But yeah, for Immortals, the game plan doesn't change here. Huni's very strong at this moment. With the Black Cleaver, also threatens the 2 versus 1. Can pop the ultimate and get the extra tentacle to try and fend off a 2 versus 1. So strong split push. You know, Alawi does control the wave really easily, as we said, versus these non-threatening tanks. And Immortals are able to claim another outer turret with the 4-man squad, plus transition into that Drake, which is another Ocean Drake. Not the best for them, but they'll definitely stack that one up. And the next one spawning. A lot of deep vision for them as well. Immortals just right back to complete jungle control in this game.
Immortals demonstrating the dominance that we usually see from this top-tier team. Phoenix1 taking a more standard composition, find themselves unable to match up. 5 turrets to 2 right now, and Immortals 5,000 gold ahead. Only 16 minutes in, continue to accelerate the pace of the game.
And it's really difficult for a team with the low damage profile that Phoenix1 have to come back if they have such an early deficit. Like we said, Twisted Fate is so much about those ultimates making early side lane plays.
Whoa.
Well, Ash Arrow, that's going to land on gate.
Adrian is angry right now. Trying to 1 versus the world. Luckily, he's got Adrian to keep him safe, but still gets a good amount of damage on a gate.
Turtle being Turtle. But yeah, it's really difficult for Twisted Fate to not only have unsuccessful early usage of his ultimate and not make use of those cooldowns, but to die 2 times as well. Very rough game this time around for Pyrion, where previously he had been a point of strength for this new Phoenix1 squad. Mash gets very aggressive with Turtle again. Turtle goes
forced to heal, teleport being used. That's Pobelter catching up. Cosmic Radiance for the reset leaves Brandini out to dry. Phoenix1 might try to get this. There's the Destiny Gate preparing to group up with his team, but Immortals chase down the kill and continue to pursue. That's Pyrion being knocked back in as Adrian escorts Huni to the front line.
Yeah, Mash gets a little bit too close to Turtle there, slowed down, and then all the team tries to collapse to protect him. Immortals cleaned up with the extra range here. Tom Kentelman does come in as well, and they're going to run straight through middle inhibitor turrets 18 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Mash is just now getting out of the fountain, racing up as quick as he can, but the inhibitor turret will fall 18 minutes in. Immortals clearing out this inhibitor, and Phoenix1 are on the struggle bus.
Yeah, Immortals trying to put a stop to that Phoenix1 hype that was starting to generate. Fairy Tale not gonna happen in game number 2 unless they are able to hold out until Mashme gets a lot more damage.
Oh yeah,
And
well,
it's gonna be rough. Yeah, so here, this is where, you know, Mash starts to panic now because no mana also gets slowed, and this is where everybody else kind of gets baited in. The ultimate from Tarek not in range for Brandini, so he goes in with just an advance and has nothing left there. Plus, Pyrion goes in to try and save him, and it's kind of this ants go marching in 1 by 1 situation, and the ants are starting to get squished.
Yeah. Tragic story for those ants.
Who's got a magnifying glass?
Immortals do, apparently. 19 minutes in. Trying to burn this game up. Send the Phoenix back down to the ashes.
Well, that would be an exciting game number 3 because, you know, if it does happen, if Immortals are able to close this one out, which is very probable, maybe we do see Phoenix1 again throw a little bit of a curveball here. Try and switch things up again. They're still, you know, in this one a little bit though. They can try and wave clear and wait around, punish some overdiving from Immortals. That has been one thing that people have criticized for them. Maybe Immortals mess up one of the turret dives. Problem is, there's not that many turrets, especially if they go mid lane.
Yeah.
Immortals making pretty quick work of this game.
Very intelligent play as they're able to take this advantage. As we now start to hit that 20-minute mark, the super minions are cleared out wave by wave, and Inori's thinking he's sneaky right now.
Yeah, Phoenix1 have to be sneaky, right? Because they have to make a play where they outnumber Immortals, and they have an extra champion in the mix, try and take advantage that way. In the straight up 5-on-5, they just get outgunned. There's too much money on Immortals. They're too far ahead right now. You can't take a fair fight, so you have to start cheating a little bit. Throw some dust in their eyes.
Yeah,
Attack them from the brush.
A little bit of pocket sand.
And that's what Twisted Fate is all about, right? Trying to pop the ultimate and get a numbers advantage. Same thing with Sivir here. They try and get speed for everybody to collapse. Mortal's not going to let it happen, though. They just go right back to that 1-4 and pressure the turret with super minions going up mid lane.
They're pressuring that top tier 2 turret. It's up to Phoenix1 to try to defend. Lots of wave clear on Sivir and Twisted Fate, but Wild Turtle slowly chipping away at that turret's health. Now he has to wait for the next minion wave while Huni pressures Brandini on the other side of the map. This is a scary siege, and once that turret falls, the arrow's off the cooldown. And there's the arrow. It catches Pyrian through the laser. There goes the Cosmic Radiance. Catches 3. Brandini catches up with a teleport. Cask separates Phoenix1. Pobelter is going to eat some damage. Brandini, though, forced to flash away. Gold card onto Turtle. Pyrian cannot finish him off, and Turtle survives. Brandini tries to get into the back. Pobelter saves him. Immortals Pobelter manages to get the kill as that turret falls. There goes the journey, the abyssal voyage from Adrian to catch back up to the front line as Gate retreats and dies as well. 3 members of Phoenix1 have died in this fight, and Huni wants to make it 4.
Yeah, he's going to test the spirit. That won't be enough to kill him, but Mash will get slowed and have to dodge some tentacles on the way back. Inori in the 2 versus 1. Here we go.
Yeah, not a great place for Rek'Sai to be. He's doing a bit of damage to Reignover right now, but is about to be spoon-fed to Pobelter. Another kill, 10-2 right now, and a 10,000 gold lead for Immortals.
It's so difficult when you're behind like this with Phoenix1 and your hope is to pick somebody off and catch them out, but the other team has a Tom Kench to eat whoever you pick off and try and burst down. You know, there's not a lot of extra DPS after you use it on a single person, and the Tom Kench pick really showing its value as Turtle gets out of a bad position. Then he's going to use it on Pobelter, who gets chunked down and exhausted. He's not going to go down either. Actually, he just flashes out. Flashes over to the other side. And then once Huni arrives, it is all over. Phoenix1, they had to make really quick work there. You know, at that point, your backs are against the wall, and you're trying to make a little bit of a risky play to get back into it. Now that it didn't work out. Oh, there we go. Got that kill. That's how they got the Wild Turtle kill. But Baron Bait, very dangerous now. Twisted Fate Ultimate will be up soon, so they can at least try and check it that way. Maybe there is a Miracle Steal in the future of Phoenix1. Inori's had a few of those.
Certainly has done it before. But that Cloud Drake has spawned even yet another neutral objective for Immortals to try to take control of as that inhibitor respawns. Now 23 minutes in, they go right back to pressuring, looking to clear out that inhibitor within a minute of it getting back on the map, even clearing out the forward wards of Phoenix1. Just controlling this game from top to bottom. Arrow onto Brandini to zone him away. Fury needs to slow. He's in the front and will die to a crit from Wild Turtle.
Yeah, Pyrian is not having a good game this time around. He's going to have to refocus, you know, in the huddle after this game. Everybody tell him, no problem, it's all right. You know, put that out of your memory and focus on the next one, because if they come back in game number 3, then it doesn't even matter what happened here. Immortals, though, still have to finish it up. Not done yet, just the inhibitor down mid. And Phoenix1 have another chance at the defense.
Yeah, Huni diving a little bit too far, gets a huge amount of tentacles. He's going to get the slow on the Gate, follows it up, who flashes. He's going to look to get to the fountain as Immortals dive forward, chasing to try to close this game out. Brandini stalls as best he can. Wild Turtle is caught, but Adrian's right there next to him. To the rescue. That's finally the kill onto Brandini, the first, as that second inhibitor will soon
Spit into volley. Turtle's able to get that one, and this is going to be another inhibitor here for Immortals. Back on track for the second place team here in the North American LCS. they really do want to go into playoffs off of some victories, because it would be annoying at the least for them to end their last week with back-to-back losses. You know, suffering a loss to TSM is one thing.
Huni right now, Cosmic Radiance. Adrian is there. He brought Wild Turtle too. And Immortals are trying to fight this, and Ori gets a knockup, but those are the tanks. Pobelter zoning away the rest, and Turtle gets the kill.
It's the best thing for Alawi when not only does the enemy team not have a lot of damage to burst you down and finish you off when you're low, but also they're super behind.
Oh.
Hey, right over with the dunk.
You look thirsty. Have a drink.
All right, that is going to be Immortals evening it up versus Phoenix1 here. 1-2-1.
That's the first Nexus turret dropping. There goes another test. Mash is exhausted. Spell Shield pops a bit of that damage, but Rainover drops the kill onto Brandini. The Nexus itself gets cleaned up, and Immortals, quick as you like, they take game number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game 3. Now Shen banned away, so no changes from the bans out of Immortals so far. As they're looking for their, or out of Phoenix1 so far, as they're looking for their third one.
It's funny, I like the mention of the Heck Room by the analyst desk as well, because last night when Phoenix1 were winning and people are just like, oh my god, why don't you ban Inori's Heck Room? It's Inori's Heck Room. Now we're like, oh, why don't you ban Inori's Mordekaiser? It's Inori's. It's like, that train of thought kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just people, the champion that would most recently beat you sticks in their minds. But there still are so many options for this guy, as he's performed on so many different ones. And it really does depend on what type of team comp you want to build and what type of strategy you are going to try and go for. Mordekaiser was part of a bigger overall picture for them with the Dragon focus and the neutral objective control that they had with the Kalista lane counter pick, plus helping out the Mordekaiser with that stuff. It's all about, you know, the game plan, you know, coming together. And we're starting it off with a very versatile point once again.
Yeah, that Karma locked in for Phoenix1. We'll see if it goes to Purion or Gate this game, as it was so instrumental in the first match for Purion. Just opens up so many options, but Immortals, they might just do the exact same 3 picks 3 times in a row. Karma, Sivir, Rek'Sai.
Okay, let's see if Phoenix1 want to try the Kalista into it again without extra bonus incentive to go for Dragon control. Or if they default back to the standard AD carries of the day. Basically, if you go down the standard ones right now, it's those utility ones. It goes Ashe, or Sivir, Ashe, then Jhin. So Ashe would be next. But you know, some extra looks are coming in. I would like to see them try their hand at a Kog'Maw comp, honestly, because Kog'Maw to me has really been rising up and underestimated by a lot of teams. It's just that it's kind of scary to run that into Sivir speed boost and this early in the draft phase. So if you do that, you do it later on. If you see that your opponents don't have the best of dives. Problem is, if your opponents are Immortals, they're very, very good at diving people, and they play very fast. So.
Yeah. Well, seems like it's going to be a Ragnarok to try to match that speed, as Olaf is locked in for Phoenix1. Gnar going to be taken by Brandini. Bit of Zig emulation here.
I love it. Take the Olaf into Rainover, you know, test your metal against the OG guy. Plus, you know, into Rek'Sai is one of the preferred matchups here. See what they decide to counterpick Gnar with, though. Aurelia's on the table. That's something that Huni put a lot of time in right after she got changed, or right after the Trinity Force got changed. She became very popular. So that is definitely an option for them. The other ones I really like to see that we haven't seen have been the Yasuo and Lissandra. Those are two kind of old school picks into the Gnar. But I think it's only Expression in LCK in Korea has really used that particular counter pick recently.
But they will fall back to that Alawi, locked in once again for Huni. And this time it's Adrian taking Taric.
All right, so they are going to take away the Taric from Gate. That's one of the things we did mention in game number 1. It wasn't impactful in game number 2 because they lost so much control early. But I do like the steal away here from Adrian. And Immortals also are, you know, testing their hands at the new different melee supports that have taken a little bit longer to catch on in North America. honestly. And Tarek is one of the ones that takes a long time for not just the support player, but the whole team to get used to playing with. The delay on the ultimate's quite large, and you really want to have the Sivir ultimate or something else to ensure that you get that team fight when it comes down at the right timing.
It's going to take some big coordination, but if anything, Immortals are the team that has that. Now Phoenix1, 7 seconds left as they look at their final ones. Vayne locked in for MASH.
And the
Zilean.
Zilean to boot. I like it. The blind Zilean here for Phoenix1. And the assists for Olaf. Not a lock-in, by the way. Oh, no. I think that's a visual bug, actually,
Yeah.
by the way, because Vayne was locked in.
That is
that's
Vayne.
That's just a visual bug on the Warwick there. Nice troll graphics. But yeah, that is going to be MASH mixing up the 80 carry pool once again. We mentioned the Kalista good into Sivir. One of the other old champions that was good into Sivir was the Vayne. Now, Vayne not great in the current state, but that has not dissuaded Phoenix1 ever.
Yeah.
And there we go, all corrected. You see, that is the true composition as Vlad does round that out for Immortals, and that is a lot of backline dive. Sivir assisting everybody here. The Alawi, Vladimir, Tarek rush.
Oh boy, that's a scary team to rush onto you. But Phoenix1 looking to take this series in game number 3. They're putting their eggs in the MASH basket. Can he get the outplays? He's going to have some big utility to support him.
It's going to be a highlight reel if he does, because you can, side tumble these tentacles. He's going to be trying to dodge all this Sivir speed boosted people in team fights, and I think that Phoenix1 might just try and split the map, honestly. They do have speed to disengage, so they might be able to benefit. I mean, definitely the 80 carry matchup benefits Phoenix1 if they're able to get some alone time. Once Vayne does get the one-on-one with Sivir later into the game, Blade of the Rune King's completed. It's easy pickings if you can find something.
Yeah. Coaches shake hands for the final time, but we got to ask, is this it for Phoenix1? Can they finish this series and secure the win? Shout us out on Twitter. Use hashtag P1win or hashtag IMTwin as we load in. Immortals already secured that second place in the playoffs, looking to go into that set with confidence. Whereas Phoenix1 rising from the bottom, trying to take yet another Titan down.
Yeah, still testing the waters here too. A couple of different looks here from them, bringing back the Vayne, the blind Zilean here for Pyrian in mid, and see if he can have a better game this time around. We talked about the mental fortitude they're going to need. Him specifically had a pretty rough game, so you need the team to kind of rally around you when something like that does happen, to have the confidence to come back.
That confidence is so important. We've seen what Immortals can do with it. If they just get few minutes to reset in between games, just ban the Mordekaiser, get rid of that, cleanse your palette, and turn it around. But now Phoenix1 trying to do the same. We do have a bit of a pause loading into this. We're going to get that resolved as quickly as possible. But Phoenix1, again, it can't be stated enough. Starting off 0-9 and then showing that they can recover, showing that they have that resilience. If they take this win, they lock down that 8th place spot in the standings, and that means they do get the higher seed going into the promotion tournament as well. So transitioning forward, things are looking good for them if they can take this win here.
Yeah, they're all about self-improvement, looking for opportunities to grow as a team right now. This is the best experience that you can possibly get on the LCS stage.
Exactly.
And they're making use of it. I mean, Immortals is the best scrim partner that you could have.
Yeah.
And this is in a competitive set where they're trying very hard because you took game number 1 off them. You really get to test a lot of your limits.
Well, it is about time for us to get onto the Rift as we've got everything resolved. Everyone races out. It's Phoenix1 taking on Immortals in Game 3.
Quick rush to the brush. Let's see if we can get another first blood. It's just a 2-man though fan here. Just going to be vision wars for everybody as we fan out into defensive play along the river. They do see the ward placed here by Pyrian in mid.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Pobelter giving a bit of emote spam. Just keep the fingers warm,
Now, if we do have standard lanes and they keep it there, Alawi shoves the lane always. And Gnar can play kind of defensively and boomerang spam and just kind of dodge for a while and let her push up a little bit and make herself vulnerable, and might attract some jungler attention. And you always do have to worry about, especially if it's Huni and Reignover, counter ganks being prepped and Rek'Sai in the area. And the threat of Alawi turning around something like that is very big because she has all that AoE. Here we go, though. The blind swaps once again. And this time around, Phoenix1 are actually sending duo bottom, so you don't get to see the matched Australian lanes. Yeah. They do pull off that lane swap.
And as expected, Zilean. Ooh, missed that one. He did get that one, though. Ooh.
Now 1 out of 3.
That's
unlucky.
Exactly, yeah, not the best, but now they see that this swap is happening. Immortals very well practice it. As you said, this is a great opportunity to practice this lane swap scenario as Brandini now heads into the jungle to catch up with Inori.
Yeah, no lane CS there for Brandini. He wasn't able to get any of the melees before getting chased out, which is actually pretty uncommon. It did help out with the leash, but wasn't able to get up there in time before Turtle and Adrian arrived. So he'll be slightly behind when he meets up with Huni, who was able to get melee minions and then goes back into the jungle to help out before using that teleport to create the invulnerability to help push down the turret quicker. And that is going to mean that Phoenix1, while yes, they are going to have the teleport advantage technically, they're going to have a slower turret push because it's not used on the minion, and he's not going to be there as early either. So we'll see if Immortals can actually make that transition into anything big, because it's pretty hard to use even a couple seconds lead on turret kills at the moment into anything meaningful, as Riftail doesn't spawn till 6 and Dragon's easily contestable. We'll see though.
Yeah, Furion trying to shove up in this mid lane. Pobelter's matching as best he can as that top tier 1 will go down. Huni's trying to clear it out. Go for that solo gold. Needs a few hits. There he goes. Finally drops it. And Phoenix1 on the opposite side do the same thing. Oh, add some damage onto Pyrion. Slightly faster at taking that turret is Immortals with this pace.
Yeah, Zilean is kind of annoying to CS with, but Pyreon's still having a rough time with it and is losing pretty handily in CS just in the pure 1v1 here. As Vlad is zoning a lot and making him miss a lot of last hits here. Good job by Pobelter controlling this lane from very early on, forcing all the potions, denying CS, and having control while not really exposing himself either.
Vladimir's sustaining so much, especially with the Doran's blades. Pyrion can't even auto-attack. Whoa! Down to 200 health. And Nori's forced to head towards mid lane to catch some of these minions, but Pobelter's not going to let that fly so easy.
Ah, too bad. Forced to catch a cannon minion.
Yeah.
Gate here, though, is going to force Huni off and get some harass as he chases him through the jungle, plus cashing in with the spell Thieves, while they get that solo experience on match on the Bane, which is very important. Here they go. Another strong push, though, on top side for Phoenix1 as they try and trade again on turrets. And Immortals are going to answer, push up. They're already on the turret. They retain that small couple seconds advantage in the turret pushing, and that looks like it should turn into the Drake afterwards. They have the extra time, plus everybody's bottom side for them, and they have mid lane control to boot. So Immortals looking like they will be the recipients of the early ocean once again.
Yeah, Reignover's actually already starting it out, not even going to wait for his team. We'll take some damage here. Ocean Drake not that terrifying. But the turret is taken. Gold actually split between the three.
Yeah, Huni, when he does meet back up with Brandini, has a pretty big lead here as far as the gold is concerned. Experience is starting to even out for them. But yeah, 500 gold as far as solo lane is definitely important here in the early stages.
Reignover continuing to clear out a Northeast jungle. He's already done the same on the other side of the map with that first Drake take by Immortals. they might be looking for a similar game to game number 2. Just a nice, clean, clinical match. And shut down Phoenix1. Clip the wings. If they can. But still very slow game so far. Once again, Gate finds Huni and says, "Get out of here." Slow start to this game. After the lane swap.
Ooh, oh, Huni actually not going to get cut off there, as he's going to return to roaming on the top side. They swap it up once again. So they want to leave that wave so that Brandini can catch up, by the way, and hope that he can freeze. But Huni stayed down there, and Huni's going to try and break that freeze right now so that they have control on both side lanes right now. Look what Immortals have done. Manipulate both of the waves so they can converge on mid lane and try and apply pressure there. See if it actually manifests in anything, because it's so early on. It is still kind of difficult to take down this turret. The extra champion reduction in damage has just fallen off though, so Immortals might actually be able to convert to extra turret gold here. Good wave clear from Zillion and Olaf combination though.
They now rotate towards that blue buff after having the mid minions cleared out, and Nori's heading over there. He's got his smite, and that is going to be picked up by... Rainover currently has it, but a Nori's smite went off.
A little bit early there.
Oops.
On the smite.
Yep.
And Rainover is going to be able to get that. Plus, you know, the big thing is just denying it there. But Pobelter, man, still control over mid lane. This has been the main story here for Immortals. Meanwhile, side waves have been really funneled into this vein. I mean, Phoenix1, they want Mash to get to the point where he is the split pusher who, yes, can take on Alawi or Sivir, pretty much anyone who they send at him. So we'll see if he can get to that Blade of the Ruined King quickly, cash in on his call. He's going to need that extra burst of gold to get there. As of right now, just soaking up that solo experience. And I want him to get to that split push vein point.
The ability to 1v1 anybody. And it's so interesting that it's Mash playing Vayne. That's a champion that seems like it just fits his style in that side lane. Immortals, though, they found him, and they're going to try to capitalize. He is level 6.
Yeah, plus he's got the minion wave to work with. Ward goes down, and immediately Immortals call it off there. They're out-leveled, and don't want to risk it here.
Yeah, they take the long way around to catch up to the minions. And try to deny Mash. Completes his recall. Rainover continuing to farm it out. Inori is keeping pace, but 9 minutes in, of course, this slow game. Haven't seen anything too exciting outside of that lane swap. Ping now going down onto the Rift Herald by Immortals. They might be trying to set up for that.
They do have a decent amount of vision in the blue quadrant of the jungle. And as we keep on pointing out, Pobelter here has been crushing the control in mid lane. It hasn't resulted in a kill yet, but the large CS lead that he has is about the gold worth of a kill, plus constant pressure so that they can go for these jungle invades. And they've got wards on top of wards here, even overlapping in the blue quadrant of the jungle here.
Kyrian forced to use his teleport to get back into that mid lane as Immortals clear out this side of the jungle. Monopoly on vision over there. Meanwhile, Inori's trying to help Brandini out, but currently just finds himself sitting in that tri-bush, trying to bait this.
Yep, Huni's still holding onto that lead, and it's so hard for Brandini to do it himself to break this freeze. They have to call Inori over as well to make sure that it will crash and start to bounce back.
Mash gonna get some hits as Gate roams over. Adrian's down to half.
They can go on the chase here. They don't have a lot of vision though, and a counter gank is possible, so no point really extending. He still wants to pop the call. He still wants to have his side lane experience. And Huni actually is able to keep the wave once again.
Yeah, meanwhile, Immortals pressuring the other 2-2 on the other side of the map. Trying to defend it. It's not going to take too much damage. Mash is able to catch a lot of these minions too.
Yeah, did miss that cannon minion. Bad for him as Immortals trying to keep up the pressure.
And despite this being a much lower kill count game, still seems like Immortals are the ones dictating the pace, using Pobelter's pressure in the mid lane to enable their side lanes to make things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar situation over on the other side where Phoenix1 have been pushed up to the turret, but Phoenix1 haven't been able to get the same kind of vision down to see any of the moves that Immortals are going with. Especially when Immortals decide to increase the pace of the game, you really need that advanced alert of the deeper wards down to see them coming, because when Immortals move, they start to move very quickly. They have the highest kills per minute in their games of all the teams because
Oh, wow.
They usually have the most frantic games where they'll start to push up a minion wave and then go for a fight, and you kind of get caught up in the constant skirmishes that they're forcing. This game, completely different story, as they decided to just sort of milk this lane swap, and it's provided results for them here. Pretty substantial gold lead that they've been able to continue to squeeze out, not to mention the objective control.
Yeah, and Nori looking for the hero axe over the wall. That's a double bomb and the axe, but Reignover does not falter. Second elemental Drake taken by Immortals. That's 2 Ocean Drakes, and the next one will be a mountain. Things looking good for Immortals fans, as Immortals find themselves 1,500 gold ahead and looking to expand it even more.
Yeah, looking to deny Phoenix1 the series victory here. Even it up.
Immortals saying, we're the only team that's allowed to beat TSM.
Well, that's...
Yet to be proven.
Yeah, true, yeah. Phoenix1s are the team that actually have done it.
Luba now being gifted over. Oh! Oh, that was close.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to salvage this lane for Pyrian. I mean, he has been able to kind of stop the CS lead from increasing. It's costing him a small amount of turret damage, but it's at the point now where the bombs, the double bombs, are actually killing the whole minion wave rather than leaving them low and then them dying to the other ones.
Whoa, Pobelter.
Of dive, though, from Pobelter.
Oh, caught by the stun on the minions. He takes a lot of damage. Emo Plague. He's going to try to heal himself back up. Flash gets a lot of health, and Immortals escort him out.
Yeah, bit of a mistake there from Pobelter. Does cost him both summoners, but is able to return to their strong side of the map where their constant pressure up here gives him a safe area to retreat to, and he will live another day.
Meanwhile, that top tier 2 goes down. There's no answer yet from Phoenix1. They dive onto the mid lane. Pyrian takes some damage. Teleport now being used. It's answered, as Brandini will cancel as Huni head towards that mid lane.
Backing off here as everybody full... Yeah, they're going to be able to retreat, but that is going to give up mid lane pressure. Even though Phoenix1 are able to retreat after that failed tower dive, it gives priority over to Immortals, and they'll happily take the last outer turret here. You know what that means? Not only is the blue quadrant of the jungle going to constantly be warded, but Reignover is already moving into the red side with that sight stone and dropping more on the other side of the jungle too.
Woo. This guy is controlling the map, even a forward pink to steal away the red buff, and still Phoenix1 find themselves on the defensive. Yes, they have a Vayne who is scaling up, but still hasn't completed that Blade of the Ruined King 15 minutes in, and with the pace that Immortals like to speed these games up to, MASH might not get the opportunity to wait for those 1v1 outplays, or even 1v5.
Hopefully for his sake, it's not 1v5.
Yeah.
Because those are very few and far between in League of Legends. Rarely do you ever get to the point where you can actually do that.
That's why we get so excited. That's why we're hoping that this Vayne is going to go crazy.
Every Vayne's got that dream. And that's why...
I
that's
guess
where
right,
Vayne spotting comes from. Because everybody's got that dream. Yeah, very few get to live it.
I can do it. I can do it. Well,
Can you be the one?
Yeah. I feel like, whoa, gate. Oh, missed it. Lands the tether. Pobelter now spotted out by Anori. That's challenging Smite as well. He's trying to chase it out. But Pobelter's looking for the kill on the gate as he heals himself back up. There's Mash keeping away Rainover, but the collapse as he's forced to flash away. Cosmic Radiance stalls it out. Mash, Chrono Shift, he's got to get back in to reset it, but they're not attacking him. Oh, he's tumbling away. It does reset, but Immortals continue to chase. Flash Boomerang gets first blood for Wild Turtle. A stun from Immortals locks down a few more, and Purion will fall. Double kill to Wild Turtle.
Vladimir just takes too long to kill, guys, and if you're gonna miss the early burst, gotta give up on it. That's gonna cost a lot for Phoenix1 as Sivir team speed boost, way more valuable there. Vayne getting chunked out and actually going down for the first blood kill. Immortals take a lot of gold there in addition to the early lead that they already had, and that might just be it here as Brandini's gonna have to dodge a lot of tentacles under the turret.
The bell is tolling for Phoenix1 as this Rift Herald is being taken. 5,000 gold lead, 15 minutes in. As Brandini's taking a lot. Hooney's chasing, he's got the phage! Flash! Slam number 1 misses, but Brandini's got to dodge these tentacles. Okay, he gets out of range of that one.
Yeah.
Who knew walking in a straight line?
Just gotta outrun the tentacles. People have started to play more and more Alawi, so everybody cognizant of the test of spirit. And whoa, here we go.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Get this one.
Yeah, Hooney gets the dunk for a solo kill. 4-0 Immortals.
4-0, yet 10 minutes of complete map control as well before the kills started even to come in. So that's why it feels so one-sided right now. And this is where it all began. Okay, you missed the Mantra Q, that's a lot of damage, but they still decide to force this without the deep vision that I talked about before, making informed decisions for Inori. This uninformed decision turns very badly for Mash, as he's the one right in the middle gets cut off there. Huge chunk out of him, and he's out of the fight now. Everybody's scrambling for the escape here, and Purion does ult Mash when he's very low, but there's no incoming damage at the time. And since Turtle on Sivir can speed boost the entire team, gets in there for the flash boomerang to get the first blood, and they clean everyone else up. While Vladimir nerfs did hurt his damage building full tank, you still can't take him out, and he can still kind of bait you in for their time for the rest of the team to come collapse. Immortals do just that.
Now that Mountain Drake is the next target for Immortals. No opportunity for Phoenix1 to fight this. As you take a look at the vision on the map, Immortals are completely dominant. And this is what we expected from the team that only yesterday went head-to-head with TSM. And the Giant Killers seems like they might have dulled their blades after game number 1, as Phoenix1 are finding themselves in trouble.
Well, this time around, Immortals have all the info as the gank squad walks over a ward on their way to topside, and they know that they can just make power moves on mid and bottom here. They're actually sending Sivir back to help Hooney wave clear right now. The entire team retreating to defend this push top for Phoenix1, from Phoenix1. But everybody's just going to back off, and Pobelter with the impressive Vladimir auto attacks on the turrets.
Throwing blood. Well, he's got the Rift Herald buff.
Yeah.
So he's doing some empowered damage to it, but now Immortals get the opportunity to recall. Even still, that vision on that side of the map is so terrifying. Immortals, Rainover so close to the Death Bush, completely unfazed. I don't even know if he knows that it's there, but still clears out all the camps on that side and continues farming.
Yep, gotta go with the sneaky plays once again for Phoenix1. Pretty big hole they're in. Gotta dig yourself out with some true sight. There is that Blade of the Ruined King at least for Mash coming in to completion.
But if you take a look at the other side, it's one item, Blade of the Ruined King.
Whoa, baby!
Fight breaks out. Wild Turtle, will the Cosmic Radiance pop in time? He gets the invulnerability. The stun lands onto Mash. There goes a big bomb. It's going to be blocked, though, and that's Turtle going down. Knockout from Rainover is able to kill Mash. And it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade for those 80 carries.
Teleport canceled for Brandini as well, so that means Phoenix1 all have to scramble again here. Gate with the speed boost is going to be able to survive.
Pobelter is pushing, though. Does a lot of damage. Needs to be careful with the turret. He's going to be able to heal himself up quite a bit as Purion. Whoa, Pobelter He's got flash, and actually flashes in to try to pick up a kill. Brandini's about to go mega, but dies to Rainover as Pobelter. Oh my goodness.
Brute force here from Immortals, past the turrets, popping that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No reason for him to go try and check that brush, and that will be a turret on the back of the extra kills here for Immortals. Or will it, as the minions return?
Yeah, Pobelter hasn't recalled yet. Oh, Mash has to dodge away. Pobelter gets some more.
Going to
Slow's
chase.
going to land. He's got no summoners, but the Hemoplague lands. Huni over the wall. Gets the
Oh!
slam. That's 1. That's 2. And Anori will be 3 as the stun follows it up. Pobelter point, click, kill.
Phoenix1 started the series with all the fireworks and got everyone hyped up, but
Yeah.
then Immortals just quickly extinguished them in games 2 and here in game 3, making very quick work of Phoenix1.
Yeah, the Baron falls 22 minutes in. It's a 12,000 gold lead. That is a lot of items.
Take a look at the finish of the turret here. Gate a little bit close for comfort. Say return, okay. Turn does come with the speed boost match. Jukes the Taric stun, but ultimate makes him, all right, there we go. This is what everyone wants to see.
Oh.
Boop, boop.
Bop. Oh, Andy flash.
We've seen so many people actually flashing while one of those melee abilities have already been cast on them and dying after the flash. Very painful there. Not able to survive or have your flash for next time.
Yeah. Now with the Baron buff, Immortals are going to try to break an inhibitor because they've already cleared out all of the other turrets very early on. Setting up a 1-3-1. Mash will turn onto Turtle, dodges a bit of the damage. He's looking for the outplay. There's the Radiance. Teleport coming in. Huni's going to catch up. There goes a slam as Brandini's in the front. Mash kiting it around. Brandini hops back, but there's the test. He will be slowed. Saved at the last second by Pyrian, but Pobelter flanks. There's another Hemoplague. He's in the turret. Zanyus resets as they get the kill onto Brandini. And Immortals continue to find these favorable fights.
Yeah, no more juice left in the tanks for Phoenix1. They have to return to the fountain and heal up. That's going to be the base wide open for Immortals.
Inhibitor turret falls and the inhib itself crumbles. And Immortals, so strong in this game. 23.5 minutes in and racing for a faster game time than game 2.
Definitely want to head into playoffs on the right foot here for Immortals. Going to right the ship.
Pobelter walks into the turret, ignoring the minions, as he's now escorting another wave and the rest of Immortals siege it up. That turret is getting cleaned up so quickly. That's a second inhibitor going down as Immortals kites it around. 1 versus 3. He's looking for another play to add to the highlight reel. And just might find it as Pyrian's forced to back away. Stun lands with that wall up. There goes the test. Gate gets caught by Rainover, and Immortals are cleaning this up. 24.5 minutes in, that's the Nexus turret. Number 1 going down. Pobelter resets on the far side. Mash is trying to dodge this out. Condemn against the wall. He's got some damage, but he just needs the time to dish it out. Huni's zoning away in the front, drops the slam. Huni's going to get the kill onto Brandini and get another test of Spirit. Pyrian trying to zone away, but Immortals will not be stopped by the likes of him. Pobelter, is so low, and Mash gets engaged upon by Rainover. Pobelter kites it forward again with the pool. Continues to heal it up. This guy will not die. 1-0-7, dealing so much damage as the Nexus falls. Pobelter finally gets another kill, and 14-1. Immortals put on a show. Well, that is Immortals taking the series, doing what TSM could not.
Yeah, exciting start there from Phoenix1 with the oddball picks coming out in game number 1, but then business as usual for Immortals in 2 and 3. Getting right back to the game plan.
Yeah, very good reset from Immortals after game number 1. showing that they've still got the confidence, like, all right, we can drop a game every now and again. But even yesterday when Pobelter lost, Immortals and Pobelter lost, Pobelter didn't seem all that phased. He seemed like he was in a pretty good spot. So a lot of confident play from Immortals. And looking towards this postseason, they've got to have their hopes up.
As everyone keeps reiterating, it's all about the playoffs. That's what's leading up to Worlds. Getting your